Let me check out if we are live.
Are we?
I think we are, but let me check it out. We are already live, as it seems.
Just you need to be live, right?
I'm just checking. Yeah, we are live. Okay. Okay,
Oh, okay.
finally we are live after
Yes.
so much of. So all of you, welcome to another program, another episode of what we are going through that to make your lockdown little bit fruitful and sharing knowledge on different aspects. And I am happy that so many people obliged to our request and they have participated. So today amongst us is Dr. Shailendra Singh. So he is like the guy for turtles and crocodiles for India. So if you have any question regarding turtles, crocodiles, most welcome. And this is one of the opportunity for most of the students to shoot questions. And so before I start, I'll tell all of you that once you are writing question, please write in one question, single, maybe the question may be big, but in one comment. So multiple comment becomes hard. So before we start, so Shailendra, tell me a little bit about like why turtles and crocodiles.
So, I mean, like, I actually belong to a very small town very close to Kataniad Heart Wildlife Sanctuary. And if you know Kataniad Heart Wildlife Sanctuary, it is along Indo-Nepal border. And that has a very nice population of gharials. Okay,
Okay.
so one thing is that, and then since beginning, means no, I was interested in wetlands and rivers, anything with water. And turtles
Hmm.
and crocodiles always fascinated me to, just like observe, work with them, and then do a little bit more than anything. Like means no, someone like birds. So I was more. So people like snakes, people like scorpions. So I like turtles and crocodiles more. Yes.
So, like we already, we discussed in one of the episodes that how you were the first, how you came in contact with the turtles, and there was a story like how it all started. Like can you just tell us all over again?
I was I was like kind of a not like very brilliant in studies, and like wherever I was just like put to start my studies in the
Hmm.
hills. So,
Hmm.
and I actually did not like being there. So my
Okay.
parents kind of decided that I should be going to the village and
Hmm.
probably staying there with my grandmother. And
Hmm.
that means no, actually that was something that was the turning point when I thought that means no, I was more close to the nature and everything. So that was a small town called Jarwal Road, very close to Kataniad Ghat, as I mentioned
Hmm.
earlier.
Hmm.
So I just like I was there and I really liked the fish and turtles, anything in the water. So my first thing
Hmm.
was like there's no, I just wanted to do a little kind of a fish aquarium wherever in my village, in my house. So
Hmm.
I did that and I started just like, keeping some fishes in that there. And then means I thought that I should keep some turtles. And
Hmm.
then one day I came to Lucknow. So coming to
Hmm.
Lucknow was like, means two things from that place. So it's like kind of a 2 hours drive. So
Hmm.
coming to Lucknow was like essentially seeing the zoo every time, buying some plants, some fishes. And
Hmm.
that particular day, I mean, the person who was selling the fishes, the main person,
Hmm.
he also had two turtles, and
Hmm.
there's very tiny turtles. Later, I came to know they were Pangshura, and then I mean, he told us that, especially my aunt, that they are Singapore turtles. So if you want, and I actually really wanted to have those turtles, and the
Hmm.
entire story started from there. My association, my love for turtles. So I bought them for
Hmm.
like 700 rupees or something like that at that point.
Hmm.
Whatever. I mean, I think it was a really high price at that point.
So what
And
was the year then? Which year you are
I
talking about?
think somewhere I would say 1990.
Huh?
Yeah,
1990.
1990. Yes.
Okay.
So I
So
brought
yeah.
those turtles, yeah, back to home, and then means no, I just like built earlier. So all the fishes I were keeping them in a small kind of a gadda. I mean, actually, there was not an aquarium, But for these two turtles, I made a very nice aquarium and in the village. And during those days, I mean, having a aquarium in the village was something. I mean, something big. And I insisted, and to my grandmother, everyone, that means I definitely need those aquariums. And then I got those aquariums, and then means and they were essentially had two sections. That's why I'm calling them aquariums. And then means I just like placed both turtles there, and I named them. I named them Tom and Tinky. Though they were like means small, I think that both were male Pangshura, but I just considered that means one is male and one is female or something like that. And contrary to my belief, I mean, whatever like knowledge now, I mean, I thought that the more colorful turtle during those days, so that was female. So yeah, now we know differently. Now we know that means more colorful turtle. Yeah.
So going by the human standards, you are comparing turtles.
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. And I just like the more colorful turtle, I thought that is going to be female or something like that. So they were like same in size. And then means I just kept them very well, and just like fed them whatever could. And then at that point, I was a child. I did not know that actually means keeping a turtle. So when I say that, I don't want to encourage anyone to keep turtles home right now. So, but that was like means something which fueled my interest. So I was just like sitting there by the aquarium watching turtles like 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours type of things. Yeah. And then second thing, I mean, being in the village, they were like small wetlands all across the village, especially that side of the there was a railway track which kind of divided the entire village. So that side of the railway track means there were lots of wetland. So I wanted to see more turtles, and then somehow I found out there are like other type of turtles also live. I mean, in the wetlands and ponds and things. So I had like my mother she bought a very new mosquito net from Lucknow. The same day probably next Sunday or something. So I thought I saw like fishermen use like different kind of like traps and nets to catch turtles. So I cut those mosquito nets and tried to trap turtles from those wetlands, and I was like badly beaten next morning for that.
So from this childhood and to being a very amateurish and childish turtle lover, when you started thinking that it can be your profession, or what you did to pursue the whole thing to make it a profession?
So, and then so that was, of course, that, as I said, that means I really liked everything with water. And then when I mean, I entered in, so my father actually wanted me to either army officer or a doctor. So I mean, like I decided that I will study BSc without knowing it. So I just wanted to learn more science. At that point, I was not much about like a career oriented or thing, but like I just wanted to learn more science and more biology. I mean, specifically. So I think that means, and then means, when like I was, I opted for zoology and botany, and then chemistry, of course, like means my traditional biology subjects. And then I had a professor. He was very, very dynamic. And then one day he decided that he was like also a nature lover. He was a botany professor. He was also a nature lover. And one day decided that means everyone should go and spend some time in Katania Ghat Wildlife Sanctuary. And then we went, and probably we stayed one night or maybe 2 nights. It was kind of a college, or rather a college tour. But not necessarily college tour. It was like all the students, they decided whoever liked being outdoor and stuff. So we all decided let's go and split and probably spend 1 night or 2 nights. And there when I just like saw more gharials, more turtles, and then he was explaining more about like whatever the problems he was facing, forest was facing. I think I was in my BSc second year or something. Then I decided that I will study wildlife more and probably try and work with river reptiles. That was, I think, my second turning point when I thought to opt conservation as a career. Yes.
Okay, so once you started all this, and you went on to be what you are now. So which point of time, like these were like very basic thought process, like that you like this, but when you first became very serious, is it in your after post MSc or during the PhD that you started thinking, okay, that is a great option that I can study?
No, actually, when you say the great option, I think at that point I was more evaluating that what I can do, and I think that means when you go like what about 20 years back or 18 years back, there was no like kind of there was one wildlife course in the entire country. So at that point, I was more, I mean, like kind of, I think that so in BSc, I opted, there's like the survival and dispersal of crocodiles as part of my master thesis. And I went back and spent about like 3 to 4 months there in Katania Ghat again. And I was working under one, I mean, late forest department officer or come research officer, Mr. Dhruvjyoti Basu. So I was just like kind of looking river more and these creatures more and things like that. And then at that point, I thought that means, I mean, like, I mean, the problem is much bigger and issues are diverse. And here means we can probably, or rather, I can personally probably contribute more to conservation and science. So that was, I think that was during my masters. And since I like kind of did not know where to go, what to do, what else to do, so I thought that probably working more closely with forest department. So I was like kind of volunteering with them for all rescue operations for crocodiles and dolphins and turtles and of course. So that was like kind of, and at that point I did not know that I was kind of volunteering. So that was part of my like, whenever I did not like sitting in the lecture theater or like, so my professors were good and everything was good, but like, I thought to more spend more time in the field and learning about things and talking to more people. So that's a kind of another way of learning. And there I realized that means, it's like much bigger issue than I thought. I mean, like, and then beautiful creatures like gharials and all turtles. I mean, they are kind of a disappeared. So, and that was like kind of a, I think, point where I decided I am going to just pursue this and probably dedicate my life toward conserving, I mean, some of those animals, essentially. Yeah.
So then you did your after MSc, you went and you did your PhD. So you did your PhD from which place?
So I did my master's from Lucknow University, working more closely with the Dhruvjyoti Basu and Forest Department. And then for a while, I got selected to be a junior research fellow to work with the National Botanical Research Institute in Lucknow again. And I think that at that point, I mean, I think that I had to compete with like 70, 75 candidates to get into that national institute in the environmental science division. But I thought, I mean, after working 6-8 months, I decided, no, I'm not like kind of a, lab guy. I just need to get out in the field. This is where I can make most of my impact in the life. So I kind of, and my father was not very happy with that decision. And by that time, I could finish that. I mean, like, I got selected as subordinate officer with Border Security Force. So that's Indian Border Patrol. So so that kind of like, I mean, full-time government gazetted job, which is like kind of a dream for most of the medium class families, that they're like, so I went back to my professor. I mean, a couple of professors I really liked in my master program, including my supervisor who worked for Forest Department. So I asked one of my like kind of the professor I liked like most. So he said that, what is the confusion? You studied masters and now you are getting a job, a kind of a class 1 job with the Border Security Force. So what is the confusion? You should go ahead and join that. I mean, like, so this is what everyone wants. And then, so I said, no, I want to just study more animals and probably like do this and do that. But he was not like fully convinced with that idea. So I went back to my master supervisor again, I mean, thesis supervisor, and he said that, yes, you might stay. I mean, like, I think that if you really don't like to, just spend, I mean, like be in that system, but do more science and conservation, you might stay and do more conservation work here. So then I kind of took a break, and then I applied. So I kind of lost both government jobs with National Botanical Research Institute as well as Border Security Force. So I took another kind of a 1 year's break, and I worked with Madras Crocodile Bank on another project. So there's kind of a tiny project. I mean, they funded, and so I studied turtles of Gomti River. in about like year 2004 or something like that, 2003, 2004. And after that means, so I started my PhD like means, in 2007 when I understood that means, what I could do more and things. And then means, I was again, I was not like really fussed about the really high academic degree and stuff. After my master's, but then I met one of my like PhD supervisors, Dr. Brian DeHorn, and he used to work with the San Diego Zoo at that point, and he was completing his PhD. And so I thought that way. So he encouraged me a lot that I should have like kind of a higher degree than just a master. So then I decided in like after working 2-3 years in the field, collecting lots of data, talking to him and other people, of course. And so then I decided that, okay, now I'm kind of ready. I know that how to collect data, how to interpret it and things like that. Then I started doing my thesis under his supervision. Yes.
So then you completed PhD, and then why I'm trying to tell this, because a small turning in your life, from a BSF Babu or a botanical botany Babu, you diverted to a totally, one small step took you to a total different area.
Yeah. I was not a Babu, I was a captain.
So you are so anyway, so but then this is a two very different field, from BSF to turtles. Botany may have some relation to the whole thing, but BSF is totally out. So we were in the verge of losing Shailendra Singh for turtles, and
Yes.
Shailendra Singh may have been somewhere in Uri at some point of time.
Maybe back in Sundarbans.
So tell me, after you've completed, how did you get associated with Turtle Survival Alliance?
So so when I wanted to study turtles, in Gomti River. So Gomti River is like kind of a small river which is a tributary of Ganges and which flows through Lucknow. So this is the first river I thought that I should study. And my master supervisor who supervised me for the crocodile dissertation, he also encouraged me that yes, I can do that. And so it's kind of so I just made a small proposal, and at that point I did not know what I should write. He just kept telling, so I was kind of very scared of the word proposal. So I just wrote something that I want to study this and this, and kind of saving entire Gomti, 300-400 kilometers.
So you were worried with the word proposal.
Yeah, he used to ask me that means give me a proposal. So I was like, oh my God, I don't know. I volunteered with organizations. I like to see crocodiles. I like to see turtles in the field, but I don't know what this proposal means. What should I write?
But for many of us, proposal, if you are giving a proposal to me, it would be something else.
Yeah, exactly. There's a project proposal. I did not know. What project proposal or any proposal per se. I was more. But I knew that he wanted me to write things on paper, that what actually we want to do or I want to do under his supervision. So he said that probably. So he told me. So I was very interested in the population dynamics of particular species or probably turtle assemblage of the entire river at that point. So and then he kind of tried to break me down, and he said that you should be focusing not on the entire river but on the certain sections, since it's beyond the capacity of one person. But still I was not fully convinced, since it's kind of when you're young, when you want to do something, you want to do everything, so you are not very focused. Yeah, so but I took his advice. I said okay, probably. Then I just I was little disappointed that but still. So I just took two river pools on the river, and I thought that I'm going to do little mark recapture on that, and I read lots of literature and things, and so and he was not fully convinced. He told me later that means I was not fully convinced that you would be able to do that. So, and since means he thought that I'm more like means I like to work in Lucknow or within Lucknow and stuff, but going in the field and being there without any. So so yeah, he asked me to write like something. So I wrote like some proposal or something. I gave it to him, and he then advised me that you should contact Madras Crocodile Bank for that, since that was only organization which is interested in field studies of turtles and crocodiles, I think. So, and then he said that you should also add some budget. So it was very like surprising for me that someone gives you money to go see turtles. I'm like, this is the biggest thing. I was very, very happy. That means, okay, someone is going to pay for my bus ticket from Lucknow to the field. I just go and see turtle and do the work I like, or like, it's kind of a fun work, no? Why should it's like going to the zoo and then someone gives you money for that. Okay, so I was like, I thought, okay, yes, I mean, some money is also can be obtained from such projects and things. So I wrote a proposal. I submitted to then Madras Crocodile Bank director Harry Andrews, and Harry probably forwarded that proposal to. And then yes, I asked. They asked me. So the total field work was 27 days. Okay, on the river. So that means that I needed to be on the river 27 days plus. Like I had to catch turtles. I had to make a boat. I had to buy nets, and cover my ration, and probably hire a fisherman as a field assistant and things like that, since you need to have at least more than one person to do everything. So they asked me a budget, and I wrote a budget of 15,000 rupees. That's all, So for 27 days field work, and they said that yes, and probably they MCBD forwarded that proposal to Turtle Survival Alliance, that at least one person in North India who wants to study turtles. Okay, so I think that was, some internal arrangement or something, and then they said yes, go ahead, do that. So day one, I took a bus from Lucknow. I just went there and stationed there for 27 days straight, in like heat of 45 to 47 degrees centigrade at that point. I still remember. Since so the temperature, I used to take the ambient temperature first to know that means what is temperature like before taking temperature of the water or the turtles and this and that. And that made like Mr. Basu really impressed. And and I wrote a small kind of a report and stuff when I returned back. And I submitted to MCBT, and probably they forwarded it to Turtle Survival Alliance. And that was, I think that was like my kind of a background professional study on turtles. Yeah. And
so you had like this is the way that you made your way to Turtle Survival Alliance. Now that you are director, so a very small and interesting question: what you see your change in yourself or your work module when you first started in TSA at a very junior level or something like that, or an intern, and now when you find yourself as a country director for Turtle Survival, what are the plus and maybe little bit minus?
So I think I will see the positive side first. And so when you just like grow in any organization or any environment per se, so I think it's more like the people who support you. It's not just your own growth. Okay. So it's like people, the friends like you and the colleagues, like, there are lots of people who worked with me. They were mentors at Madras Crocodile Bank and Turtle Survival Alliance and, everywhere. But specifically, TS is a different, it's kind of altogether a different organization. They are very understanding, and there's mutual trust at all levels, and you can talk to anyone in TSA. So you feel like it's like kind of more like a family. And so that mutual trust always means, kind of contribute immensely to the growth. And once you start like doing more a bureaucratic system and like where there's a hierarchy and you can't talk to people, and science is all about like being easy and free, and you can't just like, and people like us in India from like village and like middle class families and stuff, they already don't have like lots of liberty to access resources and things. And when you are like kind of trying to excel in new subject in the wildlife, where still lots of like career options are still very limited. So so there are things when you your mentors, your friends, your colleagues, and everyone make it like a little kind of enjoyable, little like kind of a friendly environment, so everyone grow very fast. So I think that when I see myself in totality, so I am very thankful from the people who started there, like means work with me, mentored me, work with me, and then means later means still I get lots of support and lots of help and lots of guidance from the people. So I'm thankful to everyone. So that's kind of like so I still feel that means I'm like working just like how I started 15 years back types, but they interested more responsibility in me, and then it's like thought that okay, probably I can do. So I tried to do that, and suddenly one day I found that I was like conformed with turtle survival and to do this work. One day they started calling me director. I did not know what actually director means, and actually right now I'm too junior than other people, and there are turtle biologists around the world. So I still feel that means it's more like them rather than me. Okay, so yeah, so I got more support than I worked. Minus point when you call, it's more like what two things I really hate is one is not being in the field always. So when I started my career, as I told you, that means I was in the field 27 days in a stretch, but I can't afford that now. I have to come back to check my emails and this and that. I know so, but it's still I try and balance between field work and office work. But it's more I would say it's more like means I miss being in the field 100%. And the second thing, it's little hard to make other people work for you. Okay, so I'm so, and then you sometimes you alert them, and and there are different things when you can't compromise with the quality and the timeline, and how management works. So I don't need to explain you all that. But so it's more like kind of a managerial thing, and so you sometimes you're not that bad person, but you need to be grumpy, and kind of like you have to show a different aspect of your personality to other people to make them little kind of afraid of you, so they work more, and that's how management work, I guess. So I hate that. I absolutely hate that.
So yeah, that I can understand fully. So you have worked for on turtle and field. So what part of India is your favorite for? Like, if you are given an option right now, I pay everything for you, and you need to go to. You can decide which area you can go want to go to India for a field. So which area you will be interested in?
I want to come and sit right next to you. So I think that northeastern India is my my most favorite place to work on turtles. And of course,
Thank you.
not only the turtles but the people as well. You know,
Thank you.
That's like
But now,
it's not just diversity of turtles, but it's a diversity of people. And since I really like people talking to them, understanding more, and all like eco-political dimensions of turtle conservation. Turtle, of course, turtle is like in the center, but rest everything. So I don't just like find that kind of diversity and everything that I find in Northeastern India. So I'm not like
right.
first person to say that, but you can ask other people; they will say the same thing.
Okay. Thank you so much. So,
So
so now since we have established Northeast India, and everybody would love to know, because there are 2 points here. So that we have established Northeast. Now, many like your field experience. We would like to know a story or something related to your field days, which intrigues you or which is still very interesting to you. So, on my request, you need to tell us about the story. I think that you have already elaborated innumerable times, that Manipur incident.
Oh, Manipur. Manipur, yes, yeah, that was like something very
But
different.
but
Yeah,
in Manipur incidents, I also have a request,
I
because
think that
English
we
is a
already ran that story, right?
ha ha
We already ran that story last time you interviewed me for that, and then I think we
ha
ran that story. Yeah.
we ran that story, but many of here they are not linked to that channel. So maybe you can just give us a very sneak peek on
Okay.
what. But my request is, this story I need to, because English is a very foreign language for us. So emotion are not reflected well in English. So if
Right.
we can, for at least for the sake of this story, if we go back to Hindi और इसको
Okay.
थोड़ा और आगे बढ़ाते हैं, इस स्टोरी के लिए हम लोग थोड़ा हिंदी में जाएंगे, because this is one of the best story that I have ever heard. So please tell us, सबको थोड़ा आप बताइए कि क्या हुआ था.
तो हम लोगों ने इट्स हार्ड टू स्विच टू हिंदी ना। तो हम लोग जो है मतलब 2012 में एक so we did a workshop in Guwahati, you remember? तो
हाँ, I was there.
हम लोग ने किया, तो हम लोगों ने सोचा कि नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न इंडिया में हम लोग मतलब एक बहुत बढ़िया मतलब एक प्रोग्राम को शुरू करने से पहले, सो इट्स लाइक मींस आई वाज लाइक इट वाज I mean, I really like to do that. So network with more people and try and bring them to one place, and then you start doing some work. So it's like more friends and everyone. तो हम लोगों ने वो एक वर्कशॉप किया वहाँ पे, जिसमें तुम भी आए थे, और है ना अरण्य के साथ हम लोगों ने किया था। और तो हम लोगों ने वर्कशॉप किया, हम लोगों ने टर्टल्स के बारे में बहुत डिस्कस किया, और इतना डिस्कस किया कि मैं बहुत ही एनर्जाइज्ड हो गया। मैं इतना एनर्जाइज्ड हो गया कि नेक्स्ट डे आई थॉट दैट even Dr. Gauri Malla, she seeing the so I mean she asked us कि अभी तुरंत क्यों काम चालू करना है। हमने कहा नहीं, कल तो वर्कशॉप हो गया, आज करते हैं। तो उसके लिए फिर हम लोग जो है हमने कहा कि हम शुरू कहाँ करेंगे। तो उसमें टीएसए ने 4 सीट ग्रांट दिए थे उसके पहले वाले वर्कशॉप में। तो एक सीट ग्रांट जो है मणिपुर में गया था उसके पहले। तो हमने कहा चलो मणिपुर से ये काम शुरू करते हैं, है ना। और उसके बाद में हम जो है अगले दिन हम फ्लाइट पकड़ के और मणिपुर निकल गए, और फ्लाइट पकड़ के मणिपुर निकल गए। वहां पे लोकल लोगों ने कहा कि हाँ ये है, बहुत डिस्टर्ब है, आप लोग मतलब फील्ड में नहीं जाएगा, ये है वो है। तो एट दैट पॉइंट आई वाज लाइक मींस वेरी इंटरेस्टेड इन एशियन ब्राउन टर्टोइजेस, आई मीन एशियन फॉरेस्ट टर्टोइजेस, मोनोरिया एमिस में था। तो उसमें मैं लोगों से पूछ रहा था ऐसे ही, कब देखा है, कहाँ देखा है। तो डॉक्टर फिरोज अहमद से पूछा, तो उन्होंने कहा कि सब कुछ टाइगर तुम कितनी भी बार देख लो, लेकिन मनोरिया तुम देख नहीं पाओगे जंगल में। देखिए तब तक हमें मणिपुर से न्यूज आया कि वहां पे एक जानवर देखा गया है। हमने कहा भाई चलो ये तो बहुत बढ़िया बात है, हम लोग देख के आते हैं उसको। तो हम लोग जब उतरे तो दूसरे दिन फिर मतलब वहां पे जिसके घर में जो हमें होस्ट कर रहे थे, उन्होंने कहा कि आप जो है फील्ड में कतई मत जाइए, क्योंकि आपका मतलब थोड़ा चाल ढाल देख के, रहन सहन देख के आपको वैसे भी मतलब है ना थोड़ा सा मतलब दिक्कत है इस समय, आप लोग मत जाइए। लेकिन हम लोगों ने उनके बात को थोड़ा नजरअंदाज कर दिया। हमने कहा ठीक है, हम आपको बता देंगे बाद में कि क्या हुआ क्या नहीं, हम थोड़ा ऐसे घूमने जा रहे हैं, जू तक जा रहे हैं। फिर जू के बहाने हम लोग जो है निकल गए। तो हमारा स्टूडेंट था एक उस समय, एंड वो अपना पीएचडी वहां पे कर रहा था। वो स्टूडेंट और हम दोनों आदमी जो है, वो गाड़ी हमने किराए पे हायर किया। वो मणिपुर का ड्राइवर था, वहीं का इम्फाल का ड्राइवर था। तो वो था, और उसने एक भी शब्द नहीं बोला पूरे रास्ते में। तो उसको बताया गया कि अब एक तो मैं जो भी मैथिली बुलाते हैं ना वहाँ का लैंग्वेज को, मैथिली हाँ, मैथिली में मैंने उनको बताया कि मैंने नहीं बताया, मैंने उसको कहा अपने स्टूडेंट को कि आप इनको बता दो कि हम लोग जो है उखरुल जा रहे हैं, है ना। तो उसको बता दिया गया कि उखरुल जा रहे हैं। तो एकदम वो गाड़ी चलाता हुआ एकदम दौड़ाता हुआ उसने जाके पहुंचा दिया वहां पे, है ना। दोपहर के टाइम पे हम लोग पहुंचे, दोपहर के टाइम पे, हाँ उखरुल पहुंचे दोपहर में, मतलब नॉट इन द मेन टाउन बट समवेयर लाइक मींस द हिल्स, नीचे थोड़ा सा ट्राइबल एरिया में पहुंच गए। तो हमारा ये था कछुआ कहाँ ढूंढने जाए, तो हम लोगों को एक फोटो दिखाने लगे कि ये देखो ये कछुआ आपने देखा है, ये देखा है। तो हम वो थोड़ा पोस्ट कार्ड लेके घूमते थे, ये देखो ये देखो ये देखो। तो कोई बता ही नहीं रहा है, तो हम लोग ऐसे ऐसे थोड़ा थोड़ा फोटो खींचने लगे। तब तक एक आदमी आया, उसने कहा उसको बताया हमारे स्टूडेंट को, ये कछुआ मैंने देखा है, तुम हमारे साथ चलो, है ना। हम लोग इतना एक्साइटेड थे, हमने कहा चलो, है ना। तो हम लोग उसके साथ चल दिए। लेकिन थोड़ा थोड़ा दूर चले, 2-3 किलोमीटर 2 किलोमीटर, तो जंगल की तरफ, पहाड़ की तरफ थोड़ा और चलने लगा, फुट हिल्स की तरफ, मतलब विलेज से फुट हिल्स की तरफ वो चलने लगा थोड़ा सा। तो हम लोग उधर चले फुट हिल्स की तरफ। थोड़ा 2 किलोमीटर चलने के बाद हमें लगा कि ऐसा कौन सा ऐसा डेफिनेट जगह जानता है जहाँ कछुआ बैठा हुआ है, क्योंकि इतने कॉन्फिडेंस से वो चला जा रहा था आगे, है ना। तो मैंने पीछे मुड़ के देखा, तो हमारा स्टूडेंट उसने कहा कि अभी सर आगे जाना ठीक नहीं है ना, हमें अभी ऐसा लगने लगा है ना। लेकिन जब तक हम लोग मतलब ये हम बात करते हुए डिसीजन ले रहे हैं, जब तक हम लोग डिसीजन ले रहे हैं तब तक आगे जो है वो काफी कुछ मतलब मैदान की तरह दिख रहा था जंगल से। हाँ मतलब ऐसा लगा आइलैंड टाइप का आ गया जंगल में, तो फुटबॉल फील्ड की तरह आने लगा। वो ऐसा क्षण था, मुझे लगा कि कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया हमारे साथ, है ना। वो उस टाइम पे वो जो गड़बड़ी लगा कि मतलब भाई सब बहुत गड़बड़ हो गया, कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया। तो हमने उसको मुड़ के कहा, हमने कहा अभी रुकना नहीं है, अब इसके पीछे चलना ही ऑप्शन है। मतलब यहाँ से तुम 3 किलोमीटर हम कहाँ भाग के जाएंगे, कहीं नहीं जा सकते, है ना। हाँ अभी सामने कुछ दिख रहा है, तो अब वहीं चल के जो होगा होगा। हम लोग गए, उसके अंदर गए। जैसे ही हम लोग मतलब थोड़ा और चले होंगे मुश्किल से 300 मीटर, 400 मीटर, 300 मीटर भी, 300 250 मीटर मैं कहूंगा, बांस के झुंड के पीछे से एकदम मतलब वो एकदम बंदूकधारी लोग निकल आए 5, है ना, और वो हम लोगों का हाथ पीछे बांध दिया, है ना। उस दिन मुझे याद है वर्ल्ड एनवायरनमेंट डे था, अभी भी मुझे याद है। तो हम लोगों का हाथ क्या है ना, तो हम लोगों ने कहा कि भाई ये जो है ना, अब तो मतलब है ना, बहुत दिनों के बाद मैं जो है थोड़ा डरा था, मतलब है ना, वो एक डर जो होता है ना, मैं वो जल्दी डरता नहीं हूँ, लेकिन वो बहुत दिनों के बाद मुझे अंदर से लगा जैसे पूरा सब अंदर गर्म हो गया, जलने लगा, है ना, मुझे लगा डर लगा है ना, जो जल रहा था वही डर था शायद। तो और फिर वो स्टूडेंट तो मेरा वो रोने लगा, है ना, उसने कहा हम कहाँ आ गए हो, हम तो ये हम नहीं, हम तो हमको जाने दो, हम ये वो नहीं, वो लोग हमको लेके गए, कहा नहीं कुछ नहीं, ये सब है ना, तलाशी हुआ हम लोगों का, पूरा बैग का तलाशी हुआ, तो बैग में वो सब लोग एक एक करके सामान निकालते थे, ये लाओ वो लाओ, है ना, तो वो सब तो बाकी तो सब समझ गए कि क्या है। तो मैं उसको कहा कि तुम जो है लेकिन 2-3 चीज वो नहीं समझ पाए कि वो क्या है, जैसे विंड मीटर उसके अंदर था, तो विंड मीटर वो नहीं समझ पाए कि क्या है ये है, तो वो सब चीजें जो है उन्होंने उठा के अलग से रख लिया, और जो समझ गए उसको झोले में डाल दिया बस, है ना। कई लोगों को लेके चलो, आपस में बात कर रहे थे, हमने कहा तुम इसको समझाओ इन लोगों को कि हम लोग यहाँ पे जंगल का सर्वे करने आए हैं, थोड़ा हम जानवर देखने आए हैं, और हमारा कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं, कोई इंटेंशन नहीं। तो वो कुछ बोल ही नहीं रहा है, स्टूडेंट वो रो रहा है, खाली रो रहा है, बस वो कुछ कर रहा है, हम सोच रहे। तो फिर हम लोगों को लेके फिर वो अंदर फिर एक पूरा ऐसे ही मेन उनका जो ऑफिस था उसके अंदर, मतलब उन्होंने कहा इन लोगों को लेके वो मतलब ढकेलते हुए हम लोगों को ठेलते हुए वो अंदर लेके गए उसके अंदर, और पूरा बकायदा सब कुछ लगा हुआ था, झंडा वंडा ये वो जो भी है। तो हम लोग अंदर जैसे घुसे तो मतलब मेन चेयर में वहां पे एक टेबल और चेयर पड़ा था, वो पूरा प्रॉपर ऑफिस था, वहां पे एक टेबल चेयर पड़ा था, उसके अंदर जो है जो मेन आदमी बैठा था चेयर के अंदर वो एक लेडी थी, है ना, वर्दी। अच्छा, उसको देखते ही मुझे लगा कि अभी भी कुछ होप है, मतलब लास्ट होप जैसे एक होप अभी बचा है कुछ। तो उसने फिर पूछा इन लोगों से कि इनका तलाशी हुआ, ये क्या पूछा, क्या काम करने आए हो, है ना, और वो थोड़ा इंग्लिश बोलती थी, सो है ना, थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश, और वो इंग्लिश उसका 2-4 शब्द जो निकले तो ऐसा लगा कि मतलब एकदम रेगिस्तान में कुछ थोड़ा फुहार पड़ा हमारे ऊपर, कुछ तो मतलब हुआ। तो मैं उसको तुरंत समझाने लगा, नहीं मैडम ये है, नहीं मैडम वो है, ये है वो है ना। जो पीछे वाले आते थे वो सब ये बता रहे थे, ये मिला है इनके बैग से, ये मिला है, ये मिला है, ये मिला है ना। वो सब वो ऐसे चला के भी देख रहे थे जैसे उसे गोली निकलती हो कट्टे की तरह, वो मतलब है ना पिस्तौल की तरह, लेकिन कुछ तो निकल नहीं रहा था, है ना। तो हमने देखा अगर ये बात करने में इंटरेस्टेड है, तो मैंने अपने स्टूडेंट से कहा कि भाई साहब ऐसा है, तुम इनको तुरंत मतलब, अच्छा तब तक हाथ खोल दिए थे हमारे उनके सामने लाने से पहले, क्योंकि कुछ हमारे पास मिला नहीं, तो हमने कहा तुम इनको दिखाओ टर्टल वाला वो जितना भी हम लोगों के पास पोस्ट कार्ड है। तो उसने दिखाया, वो रोते रोए जा रहा है, मतलब धीरे धीरे सुबुक के, लेकिन वो दिखाया उसने पोस्ट कार्ड उसको, है ना। पोस्ट कार्ड देख के एकदम इंप्रेस नहीं हुई, है ना, कि कछुआ ढूंढने मतलब इतना दूर लिए लोग आए हैं, है ना। फिर हमने कहा नहीं आप सांप वाला भी दिखाओ, है ना, सांप वाला, हाँ सांप वाला भी हम लोगों के पास सारे फील्ड गाइड्स थे, चिड़िया वाला दिखाओ, सांप वाला दिखाओ, सारे दिखाओ। तो वो सारे के सारे मतलब उसको दिखाया गया, तो वो मतलब बहुत कुछ खास इंप्रेस नहीं हुआ उनको, लेकिन मैंने फिर बताया, फिर पूछा कहाँ से आए हो, तो हमने बताया कि हम ये, और है ना, और सारे लोग थोड़ा सा, है ना, मैं एकदम ऐसा लग रहा था कि मैं कहीं और से आ गया थोड़ा सा, मतलब है ना, तो थोड़ा मैं एग्जॉटिक लग रहा था पूरा भीड़ में, है ना। वो सबसे ज्यादा मतलब सब लोग वो थोड़ा आसपास खड़े हो, मेरा सिर जो है वो एकदम मतलब वो झोपड़ी के टॉप में लग रहा है ना। तो वो लोग मेरे ऊपर ज्यादा शंका कर रहे थे कि ये आदमी कौन है और कहाँ से आया है। तो उन्होंने पूरा जब निश्चित कर लिया, सब कुछ कर लिया, तो फिर उसके बाद कहा इन लोगों को खाना खिलाओ, है ना, और कुछ नहीं था। तो ऐसे होता नहीं जैसे कोर्ट में, मतलब कोर्ट ने कुछ फैसला सुनाया ही नहीं और फिर कुछ के दे लोग खाना खिलाओ। तो अब जो हमारा होप बिल्ड हुआ था इतना देर, मतलब 10-15 मिनट वो सब कार्ड वार्ड दिखा के बात करके थोड़ा मोड़ा टूटी फूटी इंग्लिश में, वो सारे का सारा फिर डाउन हो गया। मैंने कहा अभी ये मैडम कह रही खाना खिलाओ, उसके बाद कहेगी आप इनको गोली डाल दो, है ना। वो लोग खाना खाने के बाद में हम लोग बाहर गए, और बाहर में वो रखा पत्तल में, मतलब भाजा आलू ये वो सब कुछ, हम लोग खाना वाना खा रहे थे उसके अंदर, जो भी थोड़ा मोड़ा खाना वाना खाया। तो जब मैं खाना खा रहा था तो मैं स्टूडेंट की अपनी तरफ देख रहा था, मैं सोच रहा था हर एक मिनट हमारे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है इनको एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए कि हम लोग कुछ भी हार्मफुल नहीं है, और शायद किसी को क्लिक कर जाए तो, लेकिन वो लैंग्वेज में नहीं बोल रहा था, तो मेरा जो सबसे बड़ा वही लिमिटेशन, और ये एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है लैंग्वेज का, वही मैं बता रहा हूँ, है ना। लैंग्वेज इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि आप अपने सारे इमोशंस एक्सप्लेन ही नहीं कर पाते। तो मैं लगातार अपने स्टूडेंट को इंकरेज कर रहा था कि तुम बोलो, कुछ तो कहो इनको, बताओ इनको, जब खाना खा रहे हो उसके बाद तो कुछ हमारे पास टाइम नहीं होगा, जब वो नहीं, उसके बाद क्या करोगे, खाना खा लिया, है ना। तो लेकिन वो ऐसा रोए है कि रोए जा रहा है, ऐसा रो रहा था कि मुंह में खाना रखे और रो रहा है, मुंह खुला हुआ है, खाना चबा भी नहीं रहा। तो है ना, और मैं तो सोच लिया कि अभी तो मरना है, तो इसलिए अभी कोई होप नहीं है, तो मैं सोच लिया कि मैं सोच रहा हूँ खाते खाते, और मैं एक चावल खा रहा हूँ, फिर सोच रहा हूँ कितना देर में चावल और खत्म हो, है ना, जिससे हम बचे रहे यहाँ। सोचते सोचते सोच रहा हूँ कि कितना अच्छा काम किया, बुरा काम किया, फिर सोचा, मैं आखिरी में फैसले पे पहुंचा कि कुछ काम ठीक ही किया है, तो अगर मर गया तो मर गया, कोई बात नहीं, है ना, चलने दो। मैं तो ये सोच लिया, लेकिन वो तभी एक आदमी का होता है ना, मतलब वो सर्वाइवल का जो होता है ना, कि मतलब वो एक आदमी उस पे सर्वाइव तो करना ही चाहता, तभी मैं उसी की तरफ देख रहा था कि तुम कुछ बताओ इनको मैथिली में, कि इनको, कि हम लोग हार्मफुल नहीं है। फिर एनीवे, वो कुछ नहीं कहा, उसने रोते जा रहा है, उसने खाना भी नहीं खाया, मैंने तो आधा खाना खा भी लिया, उसने भी नहीं खाया, है ना। फिर हम लोग, फिर वो लेके फिर पेशी हुआ मैडम के सामने कि अब ये खाना खा लिया इन लोगों ने, है ना। तो उन्होंने कहा कि अब ये जो इनके झोला में कार्ड है, ये सारा कार्ड लेके और तुम गांव में जाओ, सारे लोग जो इनको पकड़ के लाओ, और गांव में जाके इनका जो ये कछुआ ढूंढ रहे हैं वो ढूंढवाओ इनको, है ना। तो ये बहुत बड़ा सरप्राइज है हम लोगों को कि भैया हम तो, मतलब हम तो जान का भीख मांगने वाले थे कि आखिरी में पैर पे गिर पड़ेंगे, मैडम छोड़ दो, है ना। लेकिन वो तो ये कहने लगी, तो अब सोचे हम कि कह दे कि नहीं आप जाने दो, हम नहीं सर्वे करेंगे, लेकिन फिर ये कह रही है अगर मन बदल गया, है ना, तो बंद हो गया। तो हमने कहा हाँ ठीक है, तो कोई बात नहीं, हम लोग कुछ बोले नहीं। उसके बाद में हम लोग जो है बाहर गए, और वो स्टूडेंट हमारा वही रोए जाए कि मतलब हमें मम्मी के पास जाना है ना। मैं उसको यही कह रहा था कि मतलब अभी जो है तुम और कुछ नहीं कर, मम्मी के पास, यही कहे कि मैं मम्मी के पास जाना, एक ही मतलब रोने में भी कुछ डाइवर्सिटी नहीं था, वही कि मम्मी के पास जाना। तो वो मैं यही उसको वो कर रहा था। फिर वो लोग लेके हम लोगों को गए, अब 4 हथियार बंद गार्ड है, और जो छोटे छोटे घर में वो लेके जा रहे हैं, हम दरवाजा खटखटा रहे हैं, उनको कछुआ दिखा रहे हैं, ब्लैक टर्टवाइज, है ना। उनको कह रहे हैं कि मतलब जो भी है एशियन फॉरेस्ट टर्टवाइज की, ये लेके आओ। कोई घर से मतलब कद्दू लेके आ रहा है, कोई आलू लेके आ रहा है, कोई चूहा लेके आ रहा है, कोई पैरट्स लेके आ रहा है, कुछ कुछ मतलब कुछ भी लेके आ रहा है। लेकिन अब कछुआ उसके पास कहाँ है, कछुआ तो था नहीं, लेकिन डर के मारे, क्योंकि वो हथियारबंद गार्ड से तो लेके आ रहा है कि मतलब ये कुछ ही ले लेगा, वो कछुआ का ले लेगा, यही ले लेगा, कुछ भी सब्जी ही तो बनाना है, बनाओ इसी का सब्जी, है ना। तो सब आदमी ले लेके आया। उसके बाद में जब देखा कि वो लोग थोड़ा रिलैक्स है, और वो हमसे ज्यादा हिम्मत, मतलब उनका पेशेंस हमसे ज्यादा वो कछुआ ढूंढने का हो गया, ठीक है। अब हमने अपने स्टूडेंट को फिर से कोचा, हमने कहा अब तुम वही जो पहले कह रहे थे कि मम्मी के पास जाना है, अब कहो वही बात, है ना, क्योंकि वो इम्पोर्टेंट है। अब मतलब उसका सिचुएशन बना है कि हम जा रहे हैं, और शाम के मुंडलका होने वाला था, 5, साढ़े 4, 5 बजने का टाइम था। तो हमने कहा अब वही बात कहो तुम इनको कि अब मम्मी पहले गलत टाइम पे रो रहे थे, है ना, अब बच गए, तो अब तुम एकदम नहीं रो रहे हो, अब तुम सर्वे में इंटरेस्ट दिखा रहे हो, अब तुम वही रो कि अभी भी जाना है,
अभी सर्वे में इंटरेस्ट दिखाने का टाइम है।
मतलब अब अगर उसमें रुक गए तो फिर वापस कैंप पे जाना पड़ेगा, है ना। वो उनको भी बताया गया कि ऐसा है कि ठीक है, अच्छा आज कुछ नहीं मिला है ना। और जो भी उन्होंने मतलब वो सब झोला वोला में ले लिया, जो भी आलू टमाटर बैगन जो भी उनको मिला वो सब ले लिया, है ना। और एक आदमी तो चूहा भी लेके आया था, मुझे अभी भी याद है ना। तो वो अच्छा, एक सबसे बड़ी बात थी कि इस पूरे जब वो सर्वे कर रहे थे लोगों के साथ, तो उसका हमने फोटो ले लिया, वो हमारे ऑफिस में अभी भी लगा हुआ है ना।
अच्छा,
यहाँ
अच्छा।
हाँ, सर्वे करते हुए मैंने एक फोटो उनका ले लिया था कि मतलब वो कैसे हथियारबंद लोग जो है गाँव में सर्वे कर रहे हैं, तो फोटो है यहाँ पे लगा हुआ। फिर हम लोगों ने उनको समझा क्या है कि ऐसा है कि अब हम लोग जाने दीजिए, है ना, हम जिनके घर रुके हैं वो लोग चिंता करेंगे, और कल हम लोग फिर आएंगे, है ना। तो उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है आप लोग सोच लीजिए, नहीं तो आप वहीं रुक जाइए। हमने कहा नहीं हम कल फिर आएंगे, है ना, हमको अभी जाने दीजिए। तो थोड़ा हम लोगों को थोड़ा गांव से बाहर तक हल्का सा उन्हें छोड़, उसके बाद में हम लोग पीछे मुड़ के देखा नहीं। हम लोग जितना स्पीड से मतलब दौड़ तो नहीं पा रहे थे, क्योंकि डर लग रहा था कि दौड़ेंगे तो फिर मतलब वो उनको लगेगा कि हम बस सक करे। हम लोग जितना स्पीड से भाग सकते थे उतने स्पीड से भागे, वो गाड़ी में आके बैठे, उस लोगों से वापस कहा कि अभी भी भाग ले चलो, है ना। तो फिर ऐसे ऐसे बात हो गई। तो इसका जो सबसे बड़ा क्लाइमेक्स है वो ये है कि फिर 5 साल हुए। तो फिर मैंने वहां इम्फाल पहुंचते ही मैं 5 बजे सुबह सो के उठा दूसरे दिन। ऐसे मेरी रात भर मुझे मतलब सपने आते रहे, मुझे लग रहा है मुझे कोई पकड़ लिया, किसी ने फांसी लगा दिया, किसी ने तो मैं ठीक से सो नहीं पाया। एकदम 5 बजे मैंने देखा, मेरा ईमेल मुझे चलाने का आदत था, तो मैंने तुरंत ईमेल खोल के देखा, तो उसमें वो रेजिग्नेशन लिखा हुआ था वो हमारे स्टूडेंट का, कि अब हम सर इसके बाद हम कोई काम नहीं कर पाएंगे, अब हम जो है ना। तो हमारे मतलब जितने फनी इंसिडेंसेस है उसमें 3-4 बार तो हमें नेक्स्ट डे रिजिग्नेशन आ गया, जिसमें हमें किसको बताना ही नहीं पड़ा। तो रिजिग्नेशन हमें मॉर्निंग में ही आ गया। हमने फिर फोन किया, हमने कहा तुम आओ तो हमसे मिलो, तो बात तो पूरी जिंदगी में ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स बहुत होते हैं, तुम तो यहीं के हो, ये है वो। लेकिन वो आदमी माना नहीं, उसने कहा नहीं मैं जा रहा हूँ, मैं ये काम नहीं करूंगा, और हमारे घर में मैं इकलौता लड़का हूँ, अगर कुछ हो जाएगा मुझे तो क्या होगा मेरा, है ना। तो खैर वो बात आई गई होगी। 5 साल बाद, 4-5 साल बाद फिर हमने उसको एक बार ऐसे ही हमने सोचा कि चलो एक बार फिर मिलते हैं, बात करते हैं, मिलते नहीं है तो बात करते हैं। तो एक बार ऐसे ही मैंने फोन घुमाया, हमने कहा अब बताओ अब क्या कर रहे हो अब तो जिंदगी। उसने कहा मैं टीचर बन जाऊंगा, ये लेकिन मैं रिसर्च का काम नहीं करूंगा, ये मुझे नहीं समझ में आया। तो हमने कहा ठीक है। तो टीचर, फिर वो मैंने फोन किया तो उसने कहा हाँ सर मैं टीचर बन गया, बीच में एग्जाम क्वालिफाई कर लिया, हाई स्कूल टीचर हो गया, लेकिन जो मतलब हमें क्या नाम है, जो हमारी पोस्टिंग हुई है वो उखरुल में ही है अभी हमारी, है ना। तो मैं अपनी 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 जगह पे जो है दूसरे आदमी को आधा तनख्वाह देता हूँ, वो पढ़ाने जाता है और मैं इम्फाल में
तो दिस वाज वन ऑफ द, मतलब इसमें फिल्म बन सकता है, इतना अच्छा स्टोरी है। और इसका मतलब जो फनी एंगल, डर का एंगल सब मिला के इट वाज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट। सो दैट्स व्हाई आई थॉट कि ये सबको जानना जरूरी है। तो इस बीच लाइक नाउ कमिंग बैक ऑन अ सीरियस नोट के अगर कोई स्टूडेंट अभी, सॉरी वो कोविड नहीं है ऐसे ही, अगर कोई किसी स्टूडेंट को अभी टर्टल रिलेटेड काम आगे बढ़ाना है या पढ़ना है, जैसे हम लोग के यहाँ पे कोई हर्पेटोलॉजी लेके ऐसा है नहीं, कोई कोर्स है नहीं, तो वो स्टूडेंट को क्या करना चाहिए अगर उसको टर्टल या हर्पेटोलॉजी पढ़ना है?
देखो मेरा मतलब, मेरा जो समझना है कि वो कंजर्वेशन इज स्टिल टेकिंग शेप, एंड देन मींस व्हेन यू आस्क फॉर डिफाइंड करियर, लेकिन तो यू ट्राई एंड कंपेयर लाइक लास्ट 10 years and 20 years or 30 years or whenever I started my career or something, सबसे लेके काफी ग्रोथ हुआ है, एंड देन मींस नो थिंग्स स्टार्टेड, आई मीन लाइक थोड़ा सेटल होना शुरू हुआ है ना। तो थोड़ा सा मतलब आ रहा है, लाइक मींस नो दिस वेब सीरीज यू स्टार्टेड, आई वाज वेरी encouraged and I was telling people that look, I mean like if you just like listen to such things, I mean तो होता नहीं है कि मतलब जो सीखने वाला होता है, यहाँ पे हमारे नॉर्थ में एक मानना है कि वो पत्थर को भी बिठा देता है और कहता है कि आप ही हमारे गुरु है ना। और उसके बाद अपने से मेहनत करके और अपने से सीख के लाता है ना। और वो पत्थर उसका गुरु बन के बैठा रहता है ना। ठीक है। तो मेरा जो समझ है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि जो सेल्फ लर्निंग है और स्टडीज जैसे वाइल्ड लाइफ साइंस है और ये है, तो एक तो पहले मैंने कहा कि मैं बहुत डिग्रीज का बहुत बड़ा फैन नहीं हूँ कि बहुत लोकल डिग्री। अगर आपके पास जो 2 एसेट हैं विच आई फील इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इन द कंजर्वेशन, इन स्पेशली इन कंटेक्स्ट ऑफ इंडिया, वन इज पैशन एंड अदर इज इंटरेस्ट। तो इंटरेस्ट आपको उस तरफ लेके जाता है। अगर हमारे शहर में कुछ भी हो रहा हो तो हम मतलब उसमें जरूर जाएंगे और वहां से 4 बातें सीख के आएंगे। वहां पे कोई ऐसा आदमी बैठा नहीं है जो हमें सिखाने वाला है। और पैशन जो है आपको लंबे समय तक अपने इंटरेस्ट को आगे बढ़ाने में कामयाब करता है, जो कि मतलब इवन इफ यू आर फेलिंग लाइक क्वाइट अ फ्यू टाइम्स एंड थिंग्स, बट स्टिल यू आर लाइक मींस नो योर दिस इज योर पैशन एंड इंटरेस्ट व्हिच इज लाइक कीप टेकिंग यू फॉरवर्ड। तो मेरा ये है कि मतलब अभी एकेडमी भी नहीं है, जैसे मतलब मैं बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स की एकेडमी था कि आपको ABCD मॉड्यूल पढ़ा दिया जाएगा तो आप ये है। तो हमारा हिसाब से आप सेल्फ लर्निंग एंड एसोसिएटिंग विद लॉट्स ऑफ नॉन गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस आर डूइंग लॉट्स ऑफ गुड, है ना। मतलब गुवाहाटी में ही ले लो, मतलब आई एम लाइक सो इम्प्रेस्ड विद व्हाटएवर लाइक post coming on Facebook and different media and things. I tell people that means Guwahati after after Bangalore, I think that Guwahati is the second most important conservation hub. At least people have that interest and passion to do something. Plus, as Tejas said in other interview other day, that means I think that means you are one of the most biodiverse region. तो आपके पास मतलब कच्चा माल पूरा है, मतलब करने का मतलब ऐसे एनजीओ है, मेंटर्स है, रिसोर्सेज है जहाँ पे आप पढ़ सकते हो, कर सकते हो. So rather than means looking at the classrooms and degrees more, I think that people should associate with other people, and especially means organizations. Zoo is very nice. I mean, like there are other organizations है ना, और जो लोग मतलब लोगों को इंकरेज करते हैं. तो डिग्रीज का उतना उतना वैल्यू है नहीं, तो अगर लोग उनके साथ एसोसिएट होते हैं तो बहुत ऐसे चीजें, और रियल लाइफ में जब आप रियल प्रोजेक्ट में एसोसिएट होते हो, जिसको हम लोग मतलब बुलाते हैं कि रियल लाइफ प्रोजेक्ट, तो हमें लगता है उससे आप जो लर्निंग करते हो वो कोई क्लासरूम का लर्निंग से वो एकदम अलग होता है. क्योंकि आई compare my classroom learning from masters, and when I compare that what I do with crocodiles now, say for example, so that's like entirely different. Okay, that's more theoretical and stuff. So that is important. I'm not saying, I'm not undermining the importance of that, but I'm saying that means ये जो opportunity है जिसकी तरफ हम पूरा ठीक से नहीं देख पा रहे हैं, जहाँ पे वो learning just by interaction and self learning. Okay, so I encourage everyone, especially young students, to make a list of all good mentors in their own city, all the good programs, anything, and then try and just like get fully benefited out of that. And I think that is more flexible. When I compare it with like more Western countries, they are more flexible. This is us. We just like chase the degrees and stuff where you have to sit in the class and spend like 100 hours every month and things. But like mostly when I see the biggest conservationists, especially in herpetology, like I must mention Mr. Romulus Whittaker, okay, or my like ex-boss, Mr. Harry Andrews. There are lots of people who did not have like kind of a real college degree, but they just like excelled very, very well in herpetology, okay, and not only the conservation but science as well. So when I say that means conservation, so that does not mean only protecting the species, but also advancing the knowledge which might be required for other conservationists to follow. So don't forget to document that knowledge. That is very important. And don't think that you have to just like document very complicated knowledge or complicated research. Every single thing, every single minute, every single rupee you are investing in conservation is going to teach you something. But please try and document that. Please try and leave that behind, so other people can be benefited out of it, and they should not do the either same mistake, or they should not do the same work to learn the same thing again. So that is another way of like saving some of the conservation resources. Okay, but and then like with the time, I think 10 years, 15 years down the line, you will start seeing more colleges and more degrees, more projects and everything. So as soon as conservation, I'm saying that conservation getting streamlined now, people start thinking that okay, conservation could be as a career and things. So टाइम के साथ वो बनेगा, वो रोड बन रहा है, लेकिन जब तक रोड नहीं बन रहा है, डोंट वेट फॉर इट, क्योंकि एवरी सिंगल मिनट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. वी आर लूजिंग स्पीसीज टुडे राइट नाउ व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग. देयर आर सर्टेन स्पीसीज नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन इन वेस्टर्न घाट्स इन लेक गैंजेटिक प्लेन, दे आर so you are like working for a cause, so that's good. That means everyone is interested in there, or like that you should be, everyone must be for the personal development as a biologist or conservationist. But at the same time, we don't have time to lose on learning, so we have to learn and grow simultaneously.
So if all of you, if you have followed that, those who are seeing this, today is the first time I did not ask technical question for two things. Not much technical question, because Shailendra is one of the very easily accessible person. So if you have any questions, I will just take some of the questions now. So, and apart from that, if you have question via me, you can always ask. And the next point is, he is very good motivating speaker. So I wanted to take benefit of his motivating speech. Technical knowledge you can get from him anytime. So whatever he has told, like field story and all, are a part of his research and life. So now what I'll do is, if you have any questions, please keep on asking here in the platform. But before that, just very basically, we'll just start off with few questions. And then if you want to add to those knowledge, you are most welcome. So Gauri says hi. Yeah, Gauri, hi.
Hi, Gauri.
Okay. Jignesh says, Prasanna says,
whoever saying hi, my answer is hello. So
so those who have said hi, your answer is hello. Great. So Rituraj Fukon says, "Hello Jaito sir and Shailendra sir. Do you think we will have a better hatchling of turtle this season because less human interference due to lockdown?"
So, well, for that, I think yes and no, both. Since means no, when you say better, you need to have some scientific evidence to compare. And since lockdown, also biologists can't go in the field and they can't also look further that how many of them survived and things. So, so we don't have that monitoring tool in hand right now. But general assumption is yes, So since all the wildlife is thriving, so we have less human disturbance all along, especially wetlands and rivers. And, there are lots of encouraging photos are coming, which is very good. So I would say yes, but I'm not able to qualify my statement since we might not have the evidence in hand, since biologists are also like Jaditya is sitting home and talking to me. So he need to be in the field right now and protecting some Nilsonia nigricans. Okay.
So this is the next question. Do you think the lockdown period has created golden opportunity for local hunters communities to kill several wildlife, mostly from northeast protected areas? And how should the forest department in India tackle this situation? Because there are already news of such situation from northeast India.
So Aditya, I would say that actually thought about it, and then means when you would have seen that there was a clear circular came from Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, which alerted all the wildlife managers to increase the patrolling in their respected areas, okay, or other respective areas. So, and we were also part of that in Chambal where we were patrolling for gharials and turtles and things. So so they are making sure that that like means most of the protected areas are safe. I was seeing some photos from Kaziranga National Park and Tiger Reserve, and staff is doing very good job. And they are not only patrolling the area, but also like kind of taking care of some of the villages those are inside and close to the fringe and stuff. The second, I think that means that might be in some areas like means really remote areas, and but when you talk about that the hunting, yes, but poaching where it involves that other layers to work with them, to source the animals, take them to the market and the transportation and other things. Since I see the poaching is entirely kind of organized crime as well as like whatever the trade and stuff. So I would say that poaching definitely has been decreased in my opinion, but hunting, yes.
Localized hunting may be there, but organized hunting should have reduced.
That's what I'm saying, which needed transportation and other things.
As we all know, we are very strong. We have very strong wildlife protection, and also some government and non-government organization works to conservation. Then why we could not get good result? People still trading hunting turtles.
So so there are two things. I mean, like the government and non-government organizations. So there are, I would say, rather three things. So one is that means still Indian Wildlife Protection Act still need to upgrade certain species to certain level. So that is like kind of a legal protection which all the turtles need to afford right now. Two is that means the demand side, we are not like really kind of able to crack the demand side. And then means we are working in any business, when you see that means we have to work simultaneously on demand and supply side. So right now all the agencies, all the enforcement, everyone is trying to crack the supply side but not the demand side. And believe me, until demand side is going to be there, supply chain is going to emerge later or sooner, involving more people who needs money. And then as you know, we have like what over 460 person per square kilometer everywhere. So there are lots of people all along. So it's like means and that's like very important. It's like means cutting the Chinese market, but we are demanding like all the Chinese product. Okay, so until we are going to demand the Chinese product, so Chinese product will keep coming. Okay, so you have to stop the demand. So I would rather compare it with the Chinese product. So you are sending your turtles to, I would not name any country, but you are sending turtles to Southeast Asian countries, and you are also demanding something here. So if you really don't want to see the Chinese product in your country, please stop asking for it. So I think that is the the lacuna. And then when you say that other organizations are working, I mean, we are trying to compare the scientific and conservation work with the organized wildlife crime. Okay, So the amount, like means, Jadit is also a reptile biologist. I also do like lots of work on trade, but our like means understanding about the trade and the demand and the supply chain is very limited, and probably like means the area we try and address is very limited within the country. As soon as means that leaves the political boundary of your country, you are no longer concerned for that. But there are certain things, international regulations and everything, they work along, and there are lots of socio-political issues. So when you say that working for conservation, that might be interpreted in a different terms. So we need to magnify and see that what work entails. I mean, how we see that particular work is actually benefiting turtles. If it is a research, if I am doing temperature sex determination research in Chambal, so none of my effort is going to control the red-crowned roof turtle trade from Chambal. Okay, but if I'm focusing on that, so the diverse work is different thing than like trying and control the poaching from the ground. Okay, and that's much more organized and much more vast. I mean, I think I have written a like means no article where 58,000 turtles were documented in just 5 years in northern India, uh, from 10 to 15. And that is, I estimated that means, or rather we estimated that's like less than what, 10%. So that it's like, it's a really huge amount. I mean, so, and then when I say working, so we are not, kind of a strengthening the organization, which is like directly doing face up with such a huge wildlife crime network. So yeah. That's an interesting question. Okay, so is it good if I answer here, Jadit, with your permission?
You can answer. We can also talk. You can go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So for those impresa, those are housed in the Itanagar Zoo right now. So we went in December. Arpita, Parimal, and I just like made a visit, and then we did the health evaluation. We tested our like kind of some of our transmitters; those were available, and then we did the tracking, means close to Yazali, actually from where they were found. Okay, and that report is ready. We did very nice habitat suitability study, and we think that means we can track. But like one thing, when we tested our radio equipments there in the deep forest of Arunachal, we found that means signals were like means if turtles are going to go like say 100-meter inside the bushes or like under a rock or something like that, so we are not going to get a signal. But best part of that we found a very good habitat. We know how to attach transmitters on them. These two things were done. So we came back, and then we replaced our like means we sent back our like equipments, including the monitor, including the all telemetry devices back to United States, in hope that we were going to get that by March. But due to the COVID situation, our equipments are still there, and we believe that means post monsoon we are going to release the animals now. Since June is going to be very, I think that means monsoon would be on peak, so we might not be able to track in the area we identified and do the permanent monitoring for them. So that's why like means on this COVID situation, I think that put us like what, like, so the tentative dates were like means close to somewhere close to 15th March or something like that, mid-March, since we thought that Jan-Feb is still going to be very cold, and it's not. It would be very brutal if we leave field assistant and a researcher back in the habitat to track the animals, since tracking was like very difficult. I mean, but I was very happy that I could track the entire length. So, yeah.
So can you read that question, Sai?
Yeah, so I can read that question. Thank you, Prasanna, for the question. So I have a little different opinion here. So first, actually, I mean, like, so there are two questions you must together, which is good. So one thing is that means, I believe that means whatever turtles are there, I think Jaditya documented total 19 ponds in state of Assam itself.
It will be much more than that. But just
Much
for
more than that. Let's say there are 20 odd ponds, and there are more ponds in Tripura, there are more ponds in Bangladesh, there are more ponds in West Bengal. I'm aware of that, and then I just keep getting information. So there one thing that if you give me opportunity, so I will freeze getting donation of turtles in such ponds. Okay, so that means that I will not accept any more turtles in those ponds. So problem one is that since that is kind of encouraging more people to catch turtles and sell to devotees, and the devotees release them, and then all problem starts. And then there are different problems. I mean, there might be since they're wild turtles, they might be aggressive, they might carry some disease, or your turtles or whatever temple turtles might carry some disease or something like that. So I would freeze that situation, one. And two, start seeing temples in the positive light. Okay, right now it's a very dynamic system, and whatever we try and change next year, everything is same again. Okay, so we will not accept any turtles. But the positive side of this, yes, they have some endangered turtles, and they provide lots of opportunity to do conservation. Okay, and when I say conservation, I mean recovery programs for certain species. Those are very, very hard to see in the wild. But there are certain things we definitely need to fix, and Jaditya and TSA's team, with together, and with other organizations also, Caesar Rahman in Bangladesh, we are trying to fix. One is that means we need to know what endangered turtles are, and temple need to keep taking our suggestions, whatever biologists and conservation organizations are making, since they should not slip back to the same situation, whatever we are trying to do, whatever in terms of welfare and conservation. The second thing is that since some of those are wild turtles, but some of them are captive turtles. Why? Since they are some adults were released, but some were hatched there and they survived there. So the second, we need to have very rigorous quarantine and disease surveillance when we start releasing them back in any system whatsoever, any system, wherever, in Bangladesh, in India, wherever. Burma is also, or rather, sorry, Myanmar is also facing the same issue, and they have lots of temple turtles. And the third thing is that we need to address this entire thing is more as socio-political issue rather than a science. Science need to come later, but we have to bring everyone, whoever is in charge of those turtles, the government, everyone together, who can just take whatever the overall management recommendations and don't slip back to that. And then when we do all these things, and then science starts. And in science, I think that there are 3-4 things I name them here. One is the genetics. Since we know that the certain ponds are kind of hybridizing turtles, we need to know the correct identification of the turtle species which we are putting back. The third thing is that, as I said, the disease surveillance and quarantine. We need to follow that rigorous disease surveillance and quarantine. And then fifth thing is that we need to know that what we are putting back. In terms of the sex, in terms of the species, in terms of everything, and then probably a little bit more about the survival and dispersal of those animals. And until we do all these things, I think we are kind of again at again in the very beginning, from where we start every year and just slip back to the same place. So we need to keep moving forward. And there are certain things like Jaditya did, some turtles were released in Ugratara and from Ugratara to Pavitara wildlife sanctuary. So so such things need to be done more using those turtles. But these science need to come, everything need to come, and then releasing and introducing new wild turtles has to be immediately stopped. And we need to find some, again, that science may not be solution for that, but it's more temple committee and things. And then I believe that since it's indirectly come under forest department, so that's another challenge, since most of the tiger reserve and wildlife sanctuaries and park, and especially animals, since animals and or other wild animals and wilderness mostly belong to the state forest department, except this case. So it's more administration. So that administrative change we need to bring in. So we are talking, and I think that they are good resources, but they need to be better utilized for recovery of certain species. So right now it's half and half. It's good and it's bad as well. So that's my this thing.
So Gaurav has almost the same question.
Yeah.
So we can skip to that. And
Gaurav slightly asked a little different question that yes, I mean, like, the welfare of the turtles are compromised at all the temples. And the very few temples I mean, like, Help Earth, Jaditya, and TSA, or like other organizations were able to address. But there are other temples also. I was talking to Dr. Raju Basumatari, and there were temples in Golaghat, and then last year was like water was almost boiling and things. So so you have like very limited access and approach to that. That means so they need to come under some kind of administrative structure or organizational structure so they can sustain your suggestion. And I know that people like Gaurav and Jaditya and all of us worked hard, and Caesar is doing currently in Bangladesh. So we have worked hard, and then but when you try and compare the input and the output, still there are lots of difference which we need to overcome. Yeah.
So I'll just take a bit of this question and tell all of the one who are listening. So we did some of the work with black sockshell and all the temple turtles, but the problem is not with the turtle, as Shailendra told. The problem is with the mindset. The challenge is not with the science. The challenge is with the mindset, and mindset we are not directly able to address through science. It needs to have lots of PR, and then we need to have lots of administrative. अब कहाँ कोई अगर नहीं मानता है तो उसको एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव प्रेशराइजेशन भी करना पड़ेगा. And the most important problem that we face is a bit of political. It's not like the political parties, but in between temple politics there is something which is temple politics.
That is the reason I call it socio-political project rather than a scientific project.
Correct. So at times, I'll tell you very frankly, at times we can conserve turtle in temple pond and restock it there in the wild, and these are very easy things. These are very breeding. Turtle lays egg. We have to just take care of the egg, and the egg will hatch by itself. Everything is fine. The point is that how to get the backbone. The backbone is administration. So many of them will be collaborating with you, and some fellow will come who will mess everything up, and like you will be blamed like you are a seller. So such of the situation will keep on cropping. That is why many of the researcher are happy to work in the wild, not in the temple pond.
Yeah. No,
And
again, I mean, like, yeah, so it's more, as I said, that more socio-political issue, but turtles are there. So it's a good thing they were saved there, but I don't want a new turtle there. But somehow changing the mindset so we can use that very important resources, and somehow we can try and populate some of the identified pockets there, those turtles can survive. And of course, I mean, turtle welfare is a very different issue than the science and conservation. But I would believe that turtle welfare is like definitely there should be more administrative guidelines to make sure that all temples fall under purview of that, and they have to do certain things if they really want to uh, keep turtles. Okay, I mean, you issue the license for people. Okay, so if there is circular from government of Assam, or like say for example Northeastern Council for Development and things like that, that look, you have to do these 10 things, and Dr. Gauri and I made like certain guidelines, and I like mine's kind of trying to approach the highest level of the government to if we can get those guidelines circulated to all the DMs, since forest department is not direct in charge of those turtles. Okay, so so certain things, but that will address the turtle welfare. But so before we solve the scientific issues, which as Jaditya said, it's very easy to solve the scientific things. You need like little money and probably willpower of people like Jaditya and other people. But that socio-political need lots more support and lots more hands on the deck rather than just doing that. So it's more like kind of a very complex and integrated project, I would say. Yeah. So right now we are like kind of a half and half here. Yeah.
right now in India, turtle conservation in river is done. What about the turtles of wetland system or small state like Haryana? There are so many ponds and places where the turtles are there, but no conservation is done for them. How can we initiate turtle conservation here? There. Thanks, Mehul.
So when you say that means river turtle conservation has been done. So this is like partially this is like partial truth. I mean, okay. So when you say that entire length of Ganges is about 2,500 kilometer, entire length of Brahmaputra is like about 3,000 kilometer or more. I guess I think 3,900 kilometers, something like that. And Indus again about 4,000 kilometer. And so turtles are very good indicator for the entire species, entire ecosystem and everything. But when you try and compare, that means so our conservation efforts are right now very localized. I mean, like they focus maybe one or two habitats here and there, but you need to do a like integrated conservation action. Say for example, Ganges. Okay, so in 2,500 kilometer, maybe like what 10 kilometer or 15 kilometer currently under the active turtle conservation project one. So right now, I mean, like we are dealing with like maybe less than 1% or 2% problem. So we need to definitely expand that. Means and train more and more people, and so they can go out and do that. The second thing is that means your community conservation thing is like more like what we are facing with the temple turtles right now. We have like about 14 such ponds in Uttar Pradesh as well, and they house mainly uh, uh, Indian soft-shell turtle, and then Huram Indian peacock soft-shell turtle, and some hard shells also. So again, I mean, you have to deal, you have to work with those people, but as soon as that's like one caution, I definitely want to put here. That means what happened. That means since they are already protected there, turtles are there. So government, tourism, conservation scientists, everyone going there to observe turtles. But what else you want to do there, you have to choose very carefully. Otherwise, that can try and break the entire equation with the community. Say, for example, one good example I am telling you that tourism department got involved in one of those ponds in Uttar Pradesh, and they started putting lots of solar lights, and they started concreting all the banks, and the cement tanks and this and that. So but villagers never asked for that, but probably government saw that there's a kind of opportunity to develop that. So when I say that means no any developments thing, so means no, so definitely the conservation goal need to be very carefully placed, that where we want to reach, what next level, since they are already conserved. So they are there, they are kind of your reference population. What you want to do, you want to protect niche, since definitely means no, as soon as you go there are more activities, definitely you are going to attract more such opportunities. Okay, so I think that means there are certain places we need to be very careful, and if you choose, that means what you need to do. Say for example, say nest protection of those turtles. So you need to do the minimum intervention in that area, since means they have been protecting, and the communities have been protecting turtles forever. I mean, so that's not new for them, and we are no one to tell them that how to protect turtles. So when I say conservation activity, I will be very, very careful. That means what is going to value add to such already established conservation efforts, rather than disrupting the entire equation. And the people are more involved with money and this and that, and the government come and they start doing more developmental activities, and everything is like kind of a start. No one is caring for turtles anymore types, and people are more competing with each other. Yeah.
So I will take another question, like which says, I think Shushmita Kaur says. So Shushmita, I'll take this question. So now, because of the limited time, there will be it would be hard to go, but hard to go through the basic facts of turtle. Interesting field, we already discussed one interesting story. But for you, I'm going to do is I will take a online class on taxonomy of turtle, not only turtles but herpetofauna. So I'll be uploading that, how to identify what are the important markings and what are the important pointers. So we'll discuss that, and it will be uploaded in my Facebook page when the time will be given there. I think that will be helpful if you can attend.
So
So
quickly, I'll tell Shushmita. I mean, sorry, are we just like
yeah,
ran out? We
no,
have
no,
time.
no, we are there. Yeah, we have.
So, I mean, the most interesting fact about turtles are means they are the, I mean, kind of a most ancient, or rather one of the most ancient creatures. We walked over the earth for 220 million years. Okay, and they have been symbol for the longevity, wisdom, and everything. I mean, like in a different culture and different places in the communities. So one thing is important, and then I would probably, in terms of the interesting fact, I will start harvesting the more religious sentiments, like चाहे आपका वो धरती है, which is like kind of a, I mean, that's resting on the turtle, and then Lord Vishnu, and things like that. And then people, you can always ask that means why people keep turtles in such in such ponds where Shiva is, like means so turtles are considered as Vishnu, and Shiva is like more like a very kind of a means impatient god, so Vishnu need to be there to compensate his energy and things like that. So I think such religious things is very easy to start with. And then another thing is like over 350 species, I think precisely 356 species, 60% of them are endangered, and turtles are like more endangered than any bird, any fish, or any mammal group. And I think that means you can start generating more, like and then India is like what, sixth in the number, I mean close to Colombia and stuff, I mean like so sixth in the ranking in the highest turtle diversity. I think this is the best way to start your work. And when I say that means how you learn more about turtles, there are lots of preliminary literature which has been written. I recently, I mean, Jadita also wrote a turtle guide on South Asia. I recently written a book for traffic. So there are lots of like literature available, and there are lots of like preliminary literature available. There's a recent paper from, or there's an old paper from John Iverson. There's a recent paper from Lovich, which is definitely a one thing means everyone who is just like meeting us today should definitely go through and read it. That means where all the turtles gone. The name of that paper is Where All Turtles Are Gone. I can just like attach it here sometime.
In the comment you can attach it.
Yeah. So so such things, I mean, you can. So I would rather encourage everyone to start reading 10 papers who can put you in perspective, and start like reading more about the species where they are found. Since some turtles are in like fast flowing river like Brahmaputra, some are like in Dhansari river, some are in like small wetlands, some are in Oxbow lakes. So things like that means we'll have to definitely means read more. And I would start with 10 such papers. Those are not very complicated, but there's some kind of a starter for everyone.
So this is a question for Anirban. I think he's asking about Red Eared Slider and use this platform to inform people about problem of Red Eared.
Red Eared Slider, I'm like kind of a continuously, they are just like coming to the country. And there was one important thing which I definitely want to raise here, is that like, there was lots of effort from Wildlife Crime Control Bureau and everyone. But recently what the sellers did, or whoever like means so they also have like a kind of a little informal group, right? So they wrote to Government of India and asked that what turtles are actually banned from trading in the country. And unfortunately, they did not get the name of Red Eared Slider. That is very like kind of a very evil move. Okay, so now they have a paper in their hand which says that these certain species are banned from the trade. That means that further interprets that other species are not actually banned. Okay, so Red Eared Sliders, which we envision that Red Eared Sliders are going to come more to the country, one. And the second thing is that and that means people are going to keep them in their houses, and once they are going to grow big, they are going to be aggressive, of course, and people are going to get rid of those. And then getting rid of those is like easiest ways to release them in the like nearest wetland or river or whatever it is. But I would request, as Anirban suggested, that I would request that whoever know or whoever is keeping a Red Eared Slider at their home, I mean, probably you can Google Red Eared Slider, see the photo, and you know that what is Red Eared Slider. Please don't release any such turtle anywhere. But if you really want to hand over it, or like kind of not willing to keep it anymore, please give it to a nearest zoo or to any conservation organizations. Like different regional conservation organizations are there. They can come and collect turtles from your home, so you need not to worry. But please don't release them in the ecosystem, since places like Sukhna Lake in Chandigarh, that is currently full of Red Eared Sliders. And this is, I mean, like, and only one way to eradicate exotic and invasive species, right, radius slider, is manual capture and removal. When when I say removal, that means the culling. And unfortunately, again, as part of the animal welfare, there are lots of officers and administrations are hesitant to kill slash cull any living being in the country, especially radius sliders. So so you need to be very careful before so if you have that, probably next World Turtle Day, when that is on 23rd of May, if we all just like come together as a small group here and probably try and just like spread this word out, that if you have any turtle at home, irrespective radius slider or any other turtle, please hand over it to the nearest zoo or the conservation agency. They will take care of it rather than releasing them back. And discourage anyone to keep any turtle. So don't be confused that what is radius slider and what is not, but don't keep any turtle.
So there is a question regarding pollution. Sir, how you see the decrease in the pollution in our water bodies these days? So nobody is going up.
So pollution is very generic problem, and then we actually we did very little work to understand the impact of pollution. Whatever we studied and whatever we like learned from the turtle populations, everything is kind of anecdotal. But if you see the best river I can cite, or other worst river in terms of pollution I can cite, is Yamuna River. Okay, and when you'll see that there's a very famous turtle biologist, Edward Moll. He came and then he found lots of turtles, especially batagus. Those are very rare currently, and all along Yamuna River, especially in Agra and Lower Agra section. But now that means See, why I'm saying Agra, since Taj Mahal is very famous, everyone knows that means But currently that turtle is completely gone from there. But when you say pollution, yes, I mean, there are different kind of pollution in the river, and it's not only turtles, but all aquatic fauna is like kind of badly impacted by the pollution. And then it's very good that government is started like Ganga Action Plan, or like Namami Gange, which is like trying to do lots of like river pollution abatement. But there are lots more rivers, like one river in Odisha, Suvarna Rekha River, but currently that is Nala. I'm like nothing is there. But like 50 years back, Batagul Baska was reported from that particular river. Okay, so there are lots of, so species are gone. Gomti River, say for example, where I live, I mean, that's also a polluted river. I classify that as a polluted river. So there's another species of batagu that lived like in 1993, but in my survey in 2003 and market capture exercise, I did not find any. So there are certain species, those immediately go, but there are certain species like, say, for example, Nilsonia. There are other species like, say, Indian flap-tailed turtle, and a few other species. They might survive for a longer period of time, but definitely means if that is getting in the food chain, definitely that is going to kill them in the long term, and probably going to have that toxin impact means in the different layers of the food and things. So it's like, yeah, I mean, like pollution is definitely a menace for turtles.
So Shailendra, we have we had a great discussion, one of the lengthiest. So
Thank you.
it was so it was, as I see the clock, it is almost 1.5 hours. So
Yeah.
the times like that, and it was really very interesting. So I hope in the near future also, if we can, even after lockdown, if we have some classes in this form, maybe many
Yeah, we can have that.
many
And
will be benefited.
turtles, yeah, I mean, thank you. And turtles are very, I mean, like in my closing remark, I would say turtles are very, very interesting taxa and a group to study, and they exhibit lots of like, one of the ancient group, and they exhibit lots of like, uh, lots of like remarkable behaviors and things. So people who wants to do wildlife management, people who wants interested in behavior and the ecology, and kind of a robust data sets and genetics and everything. So there are still lots of puzzles in terms of the turtle conservation need to be solved. And whoever seeing this conversation here, I try and invite everyone to contribute to such research and conservation, whatever capacity you can. So there are lots of like things are open in terms of the opportunity to do more research. And second thing is that I would be like I would love to be available for any technical help and sending papers or anything through Jaditya, or like you can have like, and Facebook is the best place actually. That's the so you can always just like touch base and we can talk more and things. Yeah.
So lastly, like there is a remark from Gauri before we close down. This is a remark. Veterinarian should also be how do you pronounce that? COG, cognizant for of the role of invasive and how one should deal with these animals in the long term. Such talks are valuable on the veterinarian community in understanding and resolving the many thanks. Thank you, Gauri. Thank you for your
Indeed.
comment. But
Yeah, when I said, I mean, I sorry if I don't make this statement, Gauri would be offended. So all the veterinarians, if they are going to listen to this conversation now or later, I mean, I would say that they also can do lots of so Gauri is right. I mean, there are lots of turtles are like kind of currently going to the vet wherever the hospitals and things, and that's like kind of a people spend lots of time with the doctor. और हम लोग जो डॉक्टर है ये नकली वाला डॉक्टर है, हम किसी को बताएंगे कोई नहीं मानेगा, लेकिन इफ लाइक एक्चुअल डॉक्टर लाइक गौरी से समथिंग पीपल आर गोइंग टू लिसन एंड फॉलो दैट, ओके, तो वो थोड़ा एक मतलब एक डिफरेंट एजुकेशन पॉइंट मैं उसको पाता हूँ। और कोई ऐसा वेटनेरियन है जो हु वांट्स टू कंट्रीब्यूट मोर टू द टर्टल कंजर्वेशन रिसर्च, नॉट ओनली द क्लिनिकल्स, I mean, they should be a very welcome to our community and help us. Since this problem, I like since India is a big country and we have lots of issues, we need lots more people than just like 5, 10, 20 people. So maybe like 100 trained biologists, and still we are very far. I mean, maybe about like 5, 6 people are interested in turtle conservation in the country. So yeah, so all of you are welcome.
So, yeah.
Right?
So at the end, Shailendra, thank you so much for your time and effort.
Thank you. Thank you.
So thank
and see this shirt. Okay.
Drink beer. I saw this shirt.
They are partners. So please do like them on Facebook page. Okay.
So I saw Andrew wearing this T-shirt for maybe one point of time.
Yes. So we are asked by the board, my boss, Mr. Andrew Wall, to always wear this shirt wherever you go and whatever you do. So I'm just like following his yeah.
So Andrew, you see, you are a very obedient guy.
Yes. Ask all my bosses. Lonnie McCaskill might be here, probably seeing us. Yes. Everyone knows that means Yeah, he's just said, yeah. So, yeah.
So in the closing remark, thank you all of you for your time, and I hope the next day we'll come up with another such topic, and maybe in the coming time we'll also engage Shailendra and how to make this Facebook a learning platform. We'll keep our brainstorming, going through the whole process. Thank you all of you, and see you soon.
एक बात और, 8 बजे आने के बाद मुझे कुछ वीआईपी वाला फीलिंग होने लगा है ना लाइव
VIP, and Lonnie says as a last comment maybe that you will be interested.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Okay, bye Shailendra, you stay back. I'll just switch off the live and come back to you.
Okay, good night.
Good
everyone.
Night.
Thanks for being here.
Good night.